Hi, I'm Ebony Bardsley and this is my week 4 FMP reflection video. This week we were split into groups and started looking further into the scenes and what we could do to create a deeper and more meaningful version of what we were showing, and started to think about what we could take from the tableaus and initial ideas we had into our further weeks and rehearsals. In my group, when we were first put together, we started thinking about how we could use beats and different rhythms to put the text over, and how we could use this in our own way, and maybe start thinking about recording things that we could use and think about all the different tools that we could utilize. So my group started making like different beats with our hands and with our feet to try and create a sort of rhythm and add different tones to the piece that we were working on. We also just started trying to see different ways in which we could present the scene, so that we knew that we wanted a riot scene in somewhere in the play. So we started looking at how we could look at it from different perspectives, so not just a straight on acting it out kind of situation. So we started to try and look at it from kind of a bird's eye view, maybe using like pens or different objects for like a kind of battle scene. We didn't know we would actually stick with this idea, but we thought it would be a good idea to kind of see and look at all the different possibilities of how we could go about that scene that we wanted to create. I think trying different ideas like that and going about things in a way that you wouldn't necessarily usually choose to do is so important and so valuable when making a piece of work like this, because if you don't try them out, then you're never going to know what it would look like or how it will pan out and how much more interesting it can make the play. Because if you just stick at it at a basic and kind of boring approach, then you're just going to have so many copies of the same kind of scene and format. So I think it's so good to look at all these different possibilities, even if we don't end up using them. It's a lot more valuable to you as an actor and performer and creative person, because you get to look at all these different opportunities and all these different kind of techniques. In our movement sessions with our movement director Lindsay, we started looking at choreographed pieces of work to the song I Predict a Riot. So obviously protesting is a very key theme to our play, and we want there to be a riot in the somewhere within the pieces of text. So this was really helpful because it kind of put all those like ideas that we've been looking at to use in a more orderly way. And I really enjoyed working on this because I think it was just a cool way to look at the different approaches we can take and seeing what might be included in it. And we also looked at different tableaus of rioting in a big group, and I really enjoyed that because we started having to like go in between people, and like the switches between it had to be really quick and you didn't have any time to think about it. And I think that was really cool because it just kind of puts you on the spot and just lets you go fully into it without any like pre-existing thoughts. When working on a play or a show of any kind, it's so important that you do the research and development phase, because it helps to build the whole world of the play or show, and it gives you that context and helps you go away and look into the characters and the different themes, and helps you build emotion and different character, and just helps in every single aspect of what you're working on. And I think if you don't take the time to do this, then your characterization and just plot and everything will just be slightly lacking, because you won't have the deeper understanding of what it is you want to portray to the audience, and the audience will receive that back. They'll think, I didn't really know what I meant to be feeling, or like the information that I meant to be receiving from this. So I think when you're working towards something, it's so important that you do take that time and build up that world and those characters that are involved in the performance. I also think it makes the sessions and the rehearsal process so much more enjoyable when people come back to a session after being away for a while and they've done the research and bring new ideas, because it just sparks these conversations that we can have, and it really makes it feel like everyone's so invested and so involved in the piece of work that we're creating and want it to be the best that it can be. So I think the more research that's done in general and to help develop the piece is just so valuable and just will really help create a really interesting and high quality performance.